Yay! How is it going? Potentially. Right. There we go. Welcome to the first of my, I guess, live streams. The live stream Vietnam vlog thing. See what it goes, see how it goes. But yeah, so see who comes on. Otherwise, we'll chill out. I like this though. Yeah, this is my first, so yeah, we hope it's okay. There you go, some live chats, that will do. So anyway, first live stream. If you remember this, if you remember this. But yeah, just chilling out on my balcony really. There's not much to do. There's the French restaurant, there's the cafe's a bit further down. And there's a nice bit of Vietnamese little shop down there as well. And at the moment, gotta choose between these two. These bad boys. Not sure what they're like. It could be okay. I guess you can hear it. Here's something that's happening now. This happens all the time. Whenever I want to teach online, this happens. So that happens every single time that guy with the microphone goes on. The dogs just won't stop barking. And it does drive the students crazy whenever I'm teaching from my room. They can just hear the dogs constantly barking. And it's like, this is why I don't like dogs, because they're just so loud and they bark all the time. At least with Tiger, like, he just moans at night. Mary's a bit of a weird one. She doesn't moo as much as normal. Well, yeah, that's it. At the moment, this is more for Rob, Mick, and Ed. If you're gonna watch this in the future, choosing between the Red Bulls of the world, we've got. I don't know what this is. It's just. I guess this is the version that we're more familiar with. The can that's blue and silver in Europe, and then this medicine version. There they go. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's worryingly addictive, actually. It basically tastes like Red Bull, but without the carbonation, like without the soda fizziness to it. It's like a flat version of it. And I can see why, at least in Thailand, they have this reputation that all taxi drivers have this in their car. Oh, it's good though. It's good. I could have more of that. And we'll give this a go in a minute. Alright, let's try this one. Tastes the same. I'm a bit disappointed actually. Yeah, these are just the same. Only one is 250 mils and this one is 150 mils. I mean, why not just stick with this? This is actually really cool packaging. And it's glass. You can recycle glass. So, I guess I may as well talk about ELC. They're definitely going well. It's after TET though. Classes are winding down for the year, and that kind of means that I'm just a bit less classes than normal. So I've decided to go on a bit of a epic trip up north and see what it's like. Go back up north, see all the good people that are there. Maybe meet up with a few people on the way. There's a few people in maybe Hue or Nha Trang or Hoi An or Da Nang. All of these different people I've met over the while. But I definitely feel like I need to go to Hue for a week because I haven't really seen that much of it. Like Da Nang, Hoi An, I've been to a few times by now. And Nha Trang doesn't really suit me at all. I feel it like to be the most overrated place in Vietnam. It's just people just get a bad rap for that place. But to go to Hue, why not? I think that's a good place to go to chill and have fun and relax. And then, of course, from there, I'll try and make it up all the way up to Hanoi and maybe work up with BME again. Maybe work with a different language school or some part timers for the month. The cost of living is a lot cheaper up there, so I could just have a house for $200, and then just I could teach online and make a profit that way. We'll see how it goes. And for the record, I'm now on 4 different online companies. I mean, I work for Dada, I work for Verbal Planet, I work for Cambly, and I work for Palfish as well. And all 4 of them are slowly letting the money trickle in. It slowly comes in, and it's nice. It's something you just get over time. A nice steady stream of money every week. And more importantly, you can use it online. So I can actually get my escape plan out of here eventually, like in the future. Maybe in June, I think I'll escape. I, but before then, I might spend maybe a little bit of time in Thailand, Laos maybe, and especially Cambodia if it's with the Hanoi teachers. I mean, that's just a land in itself, which is fantastic. Some other places, maybe Malaysia or Indonesia, but I feel like they're better done. They'd do a better service if I went to them over a longer time than just maybe 1 week. I feel like Indonesia, especially, is some place you'd need to spend a couple of months kind of seeing every last bit of it. Malaysia, I could do maybe a few months, 2 or 3 months, chill by the beach. As for Saigon, it's pretty much the same. The season never changes, it stays the same. It's actually surprisingly cloudy for 1:30 in the afternoon. It's still 35 degrees. I've been sweating constantly ever since going outside. Ah, would you look who it is? Cornelia, how is it going? That's something I didn't expect to find. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well back home. If you have any questions, let me know. Because at the moment, I'm just talking about 35 degrees constantly. It always stays the same. It's always the same. The main difference is when it's rainy, the rainy season. And then it just kind of happens from there. But that rainy season, I think, is not for a few more months. I think this time is really hot. Like, it's just, you'll die. You'll die if you don't have enough water. I mean, this is what I drink for standard. Like, this my default water is at least 1.5 liters now. It's not even half a liter. And I know in Spain, in the Mediterranean European countries, they have 650 mils. And here you need the proper bottles, like the proper big one. How's it all going for you? It's 6:45 in the morning. Jesus. No wonder nobody in Ireland's looking at this at the moment. It's going well. I'm just planning my adventures. I used to do a lot of Vietnam vlogs on YouTube, but thought this was a lot of it. It was a much easier way of doing it. Just let people ask me the questions. Here's a good example now. That's the band Me Man. He comes out every now and then, and he just wakes up the dog, has some fun. But yeah, anyway, with this, if these are reasonably well received, I'll do some more of these. I haven't seen any of them. What part of Vietnam are you in? I'm currently in Ho Chi Minh City in Saigon. I used to teach in Hanoi, and I think in the next few weeks I'll be making my way back up there. So I'll do some more vlogs as it goes along. I'm planning on taking a train from Ho Chi Minh City all the way up to Hanoi, with some stops in between, mainly Hue, but there could be some other places like Quy Nhon, Mui Ne. Not really Nha Trang. I'm not a fan of Nha Trang. Da Nang, maybe. But finishing up in Hanoi, and I'll be meeting up with all the old teachers I used to teach with for, I think, a final month in Vietnam. And then from that point, I do my summer holiday month where I go somewhere like Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, maybe finish in Singapore to get the cheap flight back to Dublin. For all I know, I could go just to London or something and chill there for a bit. But I doubt my online salary will go that far in London. It won't go very far in Dublin either, but I mean, there's a house there that I can stay in. Yeah, in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh. You're going to be visiting Leon and Surrey. Okay. Tell him I say hi and tell him that I'll be doing this every now and then. If he has a YouTube channel, let him subscribe to me and then I'll do these things. I'll probably do another one in a week or two. Maybe I could do another one from Scorpion Lake. I'm going to be there next week doing a river, kind of a school trip, I guess, with some of the students. Going to the river, having some fun, swimming, probably having a few beers because in Vietnam it's kind of impossible not to drink beer. Unfortunate for Paul Bruton if you're watching this, but it's just so hard not to drink beer. It's just so cold. It's so hot out here, and the water. I mean, I'm getting this from a big bottle. Really, tap water isn't really a main. You just can't have tap water here. It's something that Irish people and English people take for granted that you just don't do here. Yeah, if you're visiting Leon and Surrey, tell him I say hi. Tell him I give him a bit of this. Tell him I get a bit of this. You could I don't know what I could say. Just tell him if he ever feels like his work is getting a bit bland or boring that he can work for me. He can work with me down here. He can get a decent salary for once. And he can live in a house. I mean, what else? He can actually live in an apartment. Fun fact, actually, the building behind me, this big one here, HAGL, this one, it's huge. It's a nice big building. By Ho Chi Minh City standards, it's not that big, but there's a nice swimming pool at the bottom, and a lot of Irish people work there. A lot of Irish people live there. Some South Africans, and just apparently the crack is mighty out there. They have a lot of fun, but they have the classic rugby types, like burly rugby types. Unfortunately, I don't fit that mold, but still, I fit more of the Francisco Scaramanga type with these shirts. I'll try and wear a different shirt each time. Well, yeah, so I basically just teaching the language school, ELC Vietnam. It's a very great school. I like it a lot, but unfortunately, just after 10th, the hours get cut. So I'm thinking of just going up to Hanoi. Work for the devil, as I say. You'll get paid. He's flat out with it all. I only talk to him every few weeks. It's great to see you're doing well. I didn't know you were in Vietnam all those years ago. Well, if you know Hanoi, I'm not sure. Is there any Irish communities? Well, absolutely. In Hanoi, there's a group called the Viet Celts. They're actually a Gaelic games group in here, and they just do their thing. They play hurling, they play Gaelic football, and Saigon has its own Gaelic football team as well. And they play Hanoi every now and then. They have nice friendly games. See who's better. I'm not sure if Southeast Asia has a league or not. That would be quite interesting to see maybe Bangkok's Gaelic Games team against maybe Siem Reap or Singapore or Kuala Lumpur or even VNTN. Maybe they have an Irish community for all I know. And they could all just have this tournament in Southeast Asia to see like who's the GAA's best player. So there is Irish communities here. Hanoi has this place. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Tay Ho. That's a huge expat area in Hanoi, right by the big lake, and you'll have mainly English people, but you'll see some Americans and definitely a few Irish people. Of the Irish teachers that went to Vietnam, I think all of them live in the same room in I think I can't remember the name. Dong Na, maybe. Well, Kean, if you're watching this in the future, send me a message to remind me how to name this. But yeah, Tejo is the Irish community, the main Irish area in Hanoi, where there's a lot of stuff going on for expats. And in Ho Chi Minh City, I'm living in the equivalent, Thao Dien. This is a really big expat enclave. It's in District 2. It's about 20 minutes away from the city centre, but it's got everything you want here. There's two big shopping centres. There's a lot of Indians. There's a lot like Indian restaurants. Thai restaurant has opened up down the street. Some Vietnamese street food is everywhere, even if it's a bit more expensive than in Ho Chi Minh City's main areas. And there's actually a German place called Willie's Sausage Place. I quite like the name of that. And there is some Irish bars here, but not really any in Thao Dien. There is the Buddha bar, which is just a standard expat bar. Pool tables, snooker tables, dartboards, all of that kind of thing. Yeah, is there any other? I think if you look around Vietnam, you will find Irish communities around. We have a tendency to travel wherever the English travel, so that's always good. In Hanoi at the moment, there are some Americans, some Canadians. If I go offline, keep chatting. Hope you get some viewers soon. Great to see you're doing well. Nice surprise on a dull Thursday morning. I hope so. I mean, for me, this is a dull Thursday afternoon. There's not really any classes happening today, but I am doing online classes later from 6 till 9. That's a nice little bit of way to keep going. Yeah, maybe I'll do the next one in a cafe or a bar or something. But I do know that St. Patrick's Day was a few weeks ago now. That was quite interesting. St. Patrick's Day was very exciting. Just wearing the Ireland jersey and listening to tunes and playing the Wild Rover for the millionth time was good. Yeah. If you want any of this, let me know. Red Bull. It's good to relax. Some little things about Vietnam that I haven't talked about that much on the vlogs in the past. I mean, I talked about motorbikes and I talked about maybe overcharging, maybe. But something I like is that you'll always be surprised. For example, like loud and proud motorbikes. In ELC, I'm really surprised by how well behaved the students are, how nice it is. It's just nice to make your own PowerPoints and do your own lessons. I mean, one time I did a lesson on Eurodance and also another one on Big Beat. When I go online, sometimes I do seminars on music because It's nice to talk about music that I like. I mean, I still haven't talked about new metal yet, or the guilty pleasure music of the 1990s, like Aqua's Barbie Girl. That would be something nice to do. It's a free seminar, so it's not like they're paying money for it, but it's something enjoyable. I guess something that Vietnam finds so strange is the concept of sharing rent, and that's a pain in the ass. Like any time, usually it's the man pays the rent. Like, no, you're paying the rent. And then it dawned on me just how bad Ireland's housing crisis is. That everyone just has to share rent out of necessity rather than just because one person has enough disposable income that they can just do it on their own. And that's fine. The other person just cleans up and they just share around. That's fun. The houses, by the way, look a bit like this. I mean, I like the building structure. It's very uniquely Vietnamese. The Thai buildings don't look like this. Cambodian don't look like this. They're just nice single straight tall buildings. At the very least, they're three or four floors up. So why the Irish don't do more than two floors is baffling to me at this point. And again, the Hagel building, that's a huge floor. I think there's 50 floors, maybe 50 different floors. That houses thousands of people. But you wouldn't think that based on how calm it is most of the time. I'd say a lot of that is shared with Airbnb as well. And it's only 200 bucks a month to stay in one of those places. So that's all good. Very good. So as you can probably guess, it's not easy to exercise. I've been spending 2 hours in the morning just doing laps, walking around the area. It gets me about 8 kilometers of walking every day. But I'm really missing my bicycle. I'm missing the swimming. Surprisingly enough, in Loughlinstown, the most interesting thing about Vietnam is that for all the chances you can go swimming on the beach or in a swimming pool, I don't do it that much here. It's very much a leisurely activity where you just chill. And out in Loughlinstown, I'd be actually physically going for it, doing lengths all the time. It's good to chill. Another thing that's in my mind, you can't cycle that sucks. Sure, cycling is like driving there. That's a bit true. Something that I really want to do, but my morals just tell me no. Almost all the other teachers do it. They have motorbikes. And usually, if I go on a weekend trip somewhere, I'll rent a motorbike and I'll rent an automatic. That's easy enough to do. A lot of the expats here, they don't even have driving licenses from the UK or Ireland, but they still get motorbikes. And if a policeman stops them, they just slip them the money, and that's fine. But I'd really like to do when I get home in July or so, June or July. I'd like to learn how to ride a manual motorbike, just so I can use one here. Manual motorcycles are just so helpful around here. Like no other form of transport is better than a motorbike. I think bicycles were a lot more common 20 years ago, but they're still quite popular here. Maybe it's just how Saigon is during the summer, during the dry season. It's always 35 degrees. I mean, it was 35 degrees in January, and it's still 35 degrees now. But I definitely recommend an automatic motorbike if you ever come to visit Vietnam again. Actually, did you visit anywhere else around Vietnam, or have you ever considered anywhere else in Southeast Asia? Anyway, because I sometimes think about really going all in with my online teaching and then just setting up a base in Chiang Mai or maybe the Thai Islands, anywhere where there's a good Wi-Fi connection. I can do my work. Where maybe do 8 teaching hours a day, do that for 3 days a week, and then spend the remaining 4 days just relaxing. Like something I really missed out on in Thailand was the cookery course. I'd make a red curry solely for my family and a green curry as well. Maybe some satay skewers I already have perfected, but if it was a red curry or a green curry that I could make, I would be so happy to do that. I'm gonna when I go back home in June or July, I'm gonna have a barbecue, and I'm definitely gonna make sure that people eat bun cha or pho ga or bun thit nhung or chagyo and nem ran. So it's the Vietnamese style of spring roll, basically like the ones you get in Chinese takeaways, but far less greasy, a lot fresher, and the sauce you get with it is so good. And I'll also do bun cha, which is like pork burgers, little pork burgers and rashers in a soup with noodles and vegetables. Really tasty. My personal favorite meal here. And pho as well. Chicken noodle soup. My dad already knows how to make chicken noodle soup, so maybe that's not the best thing to do. And I guess chagyo, like rice paper spring rolls, which is a lot fresher, a lot healthier. And again, you get a peanut sauce with that, a really nice satay style. Vietnamese satay sauce is a bit different. It's not as sweet, I guess. It's very much focused on the peanut and the fish and the spice. It's really good. I mean, as I say in Skinner Simpsons, like I almost went mad trying to find it in the States, but they just can't get the spices right. My biggest disappointments in the Vietnamese restaurant in Dublin, like there's only one I can think of in Dublin. They have bun cha, but it's not bun cha. It's spring rolls with noodles. That's not bun cha. So you never know. Maybe I should just open a Vietnamese restaurant and see how it fares in Dublin. Or maybe not. I can imagine Dublin people. All Dubs really want is the dirty Chinese. And I'd be remiss to think that I wouldn't mind a dirty Chinese right now. If I if I go to Manly's, I'd order the Cantonese style chicken with fried rice. That's not a thing here. It just isn't. Chicken noodle soup is my favorite. My mum makes a great dish. Ooh, I'd definitely make one of those. Yeah, I'd love to do some of that. You never know. I'll try and make some. My aim when I get home in Ireland is definitely to at least make Vietnamese food well known to the people I'll meet, because it is a bit underrated when it comes to say to Asian foods. Thai food is absolutely stunning with its curries and satay skewers, but I'd argue the Vietnamese pork skewers with the same sauce is just as good. It's got a better spice to it. And obviously the Chinese foods, I guess there's no comparing. The Chinese is very different in China and especially Taiwan. Chicken balls, it's not a thing here. But what is a thing is they do some battered foods. They do have battered fish sometimes, and that's quite nice. Um, oh yeah, banseo. That's something I'm gonna have to try and make. Flour pancakes with they say they have shrimp here, but in Ireland we can use prawns and some pork pieces and spices and just have a really nice pancake. Have you been to Halong Bay? I have absolutely. Don't come home. There's nothing at home. Ah, no. What I have learned about Vietnam is that there is some good things about Ireland that you miss. Like, I miss I miss King Crisps. Nick, if you're going to watch this in the future, I know the Tato versus King Crisps thing is always going to be the big rivalry. But I really do I miss Irish crisps, like King Crisps. I don't miss Walkers. Walkers is disgusting. Now, Vietnam, they do have, like, to their credit, they have Pringles, but they're smaller. I mean, look at this. My hand can't even get in these. I miss. What do I miss? I miss smoked salmon the most. Of all of the Irish dishes, smoked salmon with maybe brown bread and some lemon and maybe a lemon garnish. When I came home for Christmas, that was the one dish that I missed that I really was happy to have. Like, even the Irish fry, as amazing as it is, and I would kill for a fry as well, but smoked salmon has always been my favorite Irish dish for starters. The orange juice as well back home is arguably better. I mean, yeah, the oranges are bigger here, and strangely enough, they're green. But I really miss the Irish citrus orange juice. I ran for the milk in the fridge. You take a lot of these things for granted. Yeah, I know. You take a lot of things for granted. Like again, the water coming from a tap is the one thing that I take for granted. Chocolate oranges, chocolate oranges. My boss in ELC, Andy, who for the record, I think for the record, if he's watching this, you are probably the best boss objectively that I've ever had in terms of. I mean, Carmel again. If you're watching this from Denigan's, you run really well. Like you're awesome as well. But this guy, he knows me so well. Like he knows that chocolate oranges are the things to bring here. He knows that Lindor rabbits and Easter eggs are almost impossible to get. And he also he's mad. Like he's crazy crack. You'll see him. Yeah, I have the serious boss in Rudy, and he's very smart and intelligent. And I'd go to him for any questions. But Andy's just the man you can imagine going to a rave with the Prodigy or something in the mid 90s. He would be in Siem Reap having a good time. As for Halong Bay, that was the very first big touristy thing I did in Vietnam. Uh, when I was in Hanoi, having a good time, just chilling out. I went to Halong, and it was fantastic. Now, I had a problem with Hanoi initially because the sky was always grey. I mean, even in its darkest days, Saigon can be blue skies as well. Like, even at the worst of times, the south has such blue skies. And unfortunately, the time I visited Halong Bay, it was grey. It was quite misty, and at the time, 16 degrees. But I liked it though. I really enjoyed it. I still remember being with Chris and Rebecca, who I think you'd get on well with actually, Cornelia. You get on well with Rebecca. She was we were just in the room, like me, Rebecca, and Chris, just having a bit of fun, like just chilling out with a bag of cans, being on a boat with a room that reminded us of the Titanic almost. There's a jacuzzi. There was, we just got to chill, and then of course eventually we did some springboard diving off the boats and into the Halong Bay. Um, it was really magical. It was a fantastic warmer for Vietnam. It has a special place in my heart. Like it's just such a good time. Yeah, and even the kind of less good things about it, like the pretty mediocre pumpkin curry, it didn't matter in the grand scheme because it was just so cool to just relax on a boat and take it easy on a junk boat. It's been great to see you. Look forward to seeing more live streams. Take care of yourself. Is there a Starbucks? There is a Starbucks in Vietnam. There's actually quite a lot of them. But if you really want to have the Vietnamese experience, you go to Highlands. Highlands is essentially the Vietnamese Starbucks, and they have Vietnamese coffee beans as well, which makes it much better. The coffee is fresher. You can have a proper espresso. It's all really nice in Highlands. But even as Highlands, that's a chain. The best coffee places are just on the street. Like down here, we have Bepvo's. It's a nice coffee place here. Coffee House is nice. Cheese coffee, that's a good one as well. But Highlands is definitely the Vietnamese version of Starbucks. What do they have? They have McDonald's, but it's at the airport. Like they knew that the Americans would want to see it there. There is a Burger King in Sao Dien, and there is actually a McDonald's in Sao Dien as well. Now that I think about it, but they're not really that big. The Lotteria is where the Vietnamese would go for their food. It's a Korean chain of food, but they have fried chicken and chips and Coke and things like that. Kind of fast food things. I'd say it's their Supermax, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, of the main American run stores, the big success is probably KFC. That's around. There's a few KFCs around Tay Bien and in District 1. But even so, I wouldn't go there all the time. I think I'm just happy enough having Vietnamese street food. It'd be like going to Bangkok and having nothing but McDonald's. I mean, what's the point? What's the point? You've got the best red curry in the world. So yeah, that's street food, I guess. Having said that, though, Pringles, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Pepsi owns this dream of a drink called Revive. This is like Lucasade, their version of Lucasade. It doesn't taste as good as Lucasade, but it's nice. But ultimately, it's fizzy water. It's not that great. Fizzy water, some sugar. It's good when you've been walking for a few hours and you just can't stand the heat. You've likely sweated what seems like 2 liters of your own sweat. This is always a good thing to get some salts and sugars into you. I mean, they have here B6, B12. As for which city I prefer, what I've come to realize from all of this is the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I initially loved Saigon, and I think it's a better place to live. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's what I've realized is it's about who you're with. And the Hanoi teachers, as insane as they are, there's just so many of them up in Hanoi. When I signed up for this, I thought more people would be in Ho Chi Minh City. Now, granted, we have Teacher Neve, Teacher Sean. They're awesome. I'm so happy to see them every day. And the rest of the ELC teachers are good as well, like Virgilia, Jenny, Phil, Shaw, Sam, Rudy, and Yang as well. She's so sweet. They're all so good. And the essays. And of course, John Pronjong, Mr. John King himself. They're all amazing, but it's just like the Hanoi teachers, they fit my social style a bit more. They're definitely much more in the whole let's go crazy and have a good time. You're here. Let's not take it too seriously. Let's have a bit of fun. And that's definitely what I like about that. The Hanoi. And I think there's still a good 50 teachers up there. So there's a lot more people that I'm familiar with up there. And that's pretty much it. There's just so many more people up there. I didn't like BME that much. Like my actual employers down south, they were they pretty much threw you into the wolves for a few months, and they were very bad for emailing. But obviously things got better with the Great English Excel in Hong Kong and ELC in Vietnam. But you know what? The BME, like you know what you're getting when you go there. You teach the elementary students. You get your money. You do it. It's fine. So I think it's worth doing again for at least one more month. If I recommend anyone to teach here now, I'd recommend the Hanoi internship. I'll send a link to that. Or failing that, I'm sure you could get a TEFL cert and then fly to Hanoi, and I can recommend you. I mean, that's pretty much the better way of doing it. You'll only get $700 a month, though. I recommend doing online teaching to keep you going during that phase. But you get accommodation. Failing that, you can obviously live with me, I guess, in Hanoi. If you're thinking of doing it, I would actually go up to Hanoi to help you. This is for you, Leon. If you're willing to teach for a few months in Hanoi, if you don't get a job after graduating, come down here. I'll consider renting out a 2-bedroom apartment or something, and you can finally get all them women's you always keep going on about. For the record, getting a woman here is a bit overrated. I've had a lot more fun with friends. And that's how it should be. I mean, if I was with Paul and Adrian, my God, it would be the greatest time ever. And Matt and Lisa, especially. If you're going to be watching this, Matt and Lisa, I highly recommend coming out here. I mean, if you don't come out here, then I'll do somewhere in the middle, like Bangkok. And failing that, I'll even do Istanbul, where we can see Michelle again. I guess traveling out here has really opened my mind on how small a bubble Ireland is, and maybe. I mean, I'd like to be an AV technician maybe in the future. Maybe during the summer in Ireland, I'll do some kind of work experience, do some work for them. But coming out here is nice and easy. It's you can do your AV jobs, but I get paid more here. You get 2 grand a month just doing what I do quite well. And as for the future, maybe I'll do Korea. Maybe I'll actually go to Bien Hoa, which is an hour away from here. Hong Kong, English Excel was really good to me. Shona Gregson especially. She was really nice. She helped me out all the time. It was really nice to be in Hong Kong. So I could do that again. Japan as well is another one, but I'm not sure if I do that for a few months or not. And then, of course, to Dubai, to the UAE. I'm not really fond on Saudi Arabia, even though I've been teaching students from there. It's not really gathering my interest as much as the UAE would. Maybe Qatar, maybe Turkey. I can see why a lot of Irish teachers, when they got the degree, they just went to Qatar. It's a much better thing than coming out here. But you never know. Maybe I'll come to Ireland, maybe I'll get some teaching skills. Maybe I can be a secondary school teacher or something, or even a primary school teacher. Get the credentials. Maybe so. Maybe not, maybe so. But it's all good. So anyway, I think I'll finish it at this. It's been 40 minutes. If you like these streams, then I'll do another one for you. I actually like doing this. This is almost as good as doing the Vietnam vlogs. And I'll be in a different place each time. So yeah, why not? I might as well do another one of these. So this is Paul here, Ho Chi Minh City, in my beautiful Tapa apartment. So long for now. Ah!